If you think the Cat 24 is the biggest grader ever produced, you're wrong. The Champion 100T was a giant motor grader introduced to market in 1975. Nicknamed Big Mutter, the 18-foot tall super grader was the largest grader produced at the time, and its specs will definitely show you why. Equipped with a Detroit diesel engine or an optional Cummins that developed 700 horsepower, the 100T was 50 feet long and weighed 200,000 pounds, or 101 tons. Its blade was 24 feet wide. Unfortunately, despite great feedbacks from customers in the United States and Canada, the impressive Champion 100T never met a global success, mainly due to a very limited market at the time for a motor grader on steroids like this one. In 1989, Champion threw in the towel and sold the rights to the 100T to the Domex company. The machine was relabeled as the Domex 100T, but things didn't work out as planned, and Domex never got to build a single 100T on their own. The end. This guy spent $2 million on an old abandoned coal mine. Guess how much it's worth now? We're in 2012, and former Wall Street banker Randall Atkins decides to invest a solid chunk of cash, $2 million to be precise, in an old abandoned coal mine located in the state of Wyoming, and good news began for him. Originally, Adkins purchased the mine to make money selling coal from his mine to other plants, but that was before he conducted a ground study and discovered he was actually sitting on a treasure worth 18,000 times his initial investment. $37 billion. That's the estimated number that the Department of Energy came up with after discovering rare earth elements during the study. These elements are part of a rich vein of unconditional deposits running throughout the mine. The only issue is, these rare elements must be harvested through a different process than normal mining. Involving a lot of crushing, extracting rare elements comes with a huge cost that probably won't scare the biggest contractors out there. If you love motor graders, this one's for you. Once in a while, manufacturers release a machine that completely disrupts an industry. This is exactly what happened when Caterpillar released the 24H motor grader, an amazing piece of engineering that is still, today, remembered as a game changer. The 24H was released in 1996, with the first pre-production prototype being tested in '95. It was mainly designed to meet demand from a growing mining industry. The 24 was, and still is, the world's largest grader in production. This superb machine was powered by Cat's 3412E diesel engine, rated at 535 horsepower. It had a length of 51 feet, and its blade was 24 feet wide. It had an operating weight of 62 metric tons. The Caterpillar 24H was discontinued and replaced in 2008 by the 24M, which kept the legacy intact. As of today, the manufacturer sold more than 1,000 units of the 24 series worldwide. If you care about American history, you better watch this. The first Bucyrus-Erie 3850B started operations in 1962 at Peabody's Sinclair Mine in western Kentucky. 300 railroad cars were required to ship the components from the South Milwaukee factory, and it took almost a year to erect the shovel. Nicknamed Big Hog, the 3850B was a monster with an operating weight of just about 9,000 tons and a bucket that could fit 115 cubic yards of dirt. It was by far the largest mobile land machine at the time. Big Hog stood 20 stories tall and had a boom length of 210 feet. It sat on 4 crawler assemblies with 2 track units each. The jacking system alone required 4,500 gallons of hydraulic fluid to operate properly. But Big Hog's working days came to an end in 1985 after operating for 23 years. The giant machine was scrapped and buried. But some of Big Hog's parts were used on a second 3850. In 1964, Bucyrus delivered a second unit of the 3850 at Peabody's River King Mine No. 6 near Freeburg, Illinois. Known as Lot 2, this shovel was designed slightly different than Big Hog. With an operating weight of 9,350 tons, the Lot 2 machine had a bucket that could fit 140 cubic yards of material, or 107 cubic meters. Its boom, however, was shorter than the old sisters by about 10 feet. In September 1992, the last 3850B in existence was retired, before being scrapped the following year after having moved more than 700 million cubic yards of material during its operational life. But here's a fun fact about this machine. The Lot 2 shovel only knew one day shift operator, a man who took the very first scoop of dirt with the machine in 1964 and the very last scoop in 1992. His name was Jim Paglier. If you think the Tesla guy is a genius, how about this man? Robert LeTourneau was an inventor of earth-moving machinery and founder of LeTourneau Technologies. Over the course of his life, he secured nearly 300 patents relating to earth-moving equipment and manufacturing processes. In the 30s, Robert LeTourneau devoted his life to machines, and his factories played a major role during World War II, after providing nearly 70% of the earth-moving equipment and engineering vehicles used by the Allied forces. Robert LeTourneau introduced into the earth-moving and material handling industry the rubber tire, which today is universally accepted. He also invented and developed the electric wheel concept, as well as pioneering the welding of various metals. In 1953, Mr. LeTourneau sold his entire earth-moving equipment line to the Westinghouse Air Brake Company. Forever remembered as the Dean of Earth-Moving, Robert LeTourneau passed away in 1969 after suffering a severe stroke. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Minnesota's Minntac mine. Minntac is a surface mine owned and operated by U.S. Steel, located in Minnesota's Mesabi Iron Range, near the city of Mountain Iron. The mine is the largest iron ore operation in the U.S., producing pellets to U.S. Steel's mills. Minntac includes two main facilities, Minntac in Mountain Iron and Keetac in Keewatin. The mining complex has been wholly owned by U.S. Steel since it began operations, back in October 1967. On average, Minntac and Keetac produce a total of 22 million tons of pellets per year, making it the largest taconite production in North America. Pellets range from standard acid pellets to high-grade flux pellets containing about 65% iron. Minntac has 46 crushers and 11.5 miles of conveyor belts to move iron through 3 stages of crushing, while Keetac is the only mine with primary crushers in the pit. The complex employs up to 1,800 workers all year round. This is possibly one of the best-looking trucks ever produced. In April 1970, company Peerless Manufacturing started working on the development of the VCON 2606 haul truck, with one very specific goal: producing the world's largest mining truck. It took 14 months to come up with the first prototype. Renamed VCON 3006, the unit was tested in Prima Copper Mine in Arizona. It ran with an Alco locomotive engine able to develop multiple horsepower ratings, ranging from 2,600 to 3,000 horsepower. With a payload of 250 tons, the VCON had a length of 43 feet and was 28 feet wide. Power was supplied to 6 GE electric traction motors, 1 in each of the 4 rear wheels and 1 in each of the 2 outside front wheels. In 1973, company Marion purchased the rights to the VCON, but 4 years later, right after Dresser Industries acquired Marion Power Shovel Company, the 3006 project was officially canceled. Only one VCON 3006 was ever produced. If you ever wondered how much you make operating those giant machines, here's the answer. This is something that never really gets talked about. How much do mining machine operators make, on average, in a year? Well, let's go through this and let's review 3 different regions to cover all the bases: Europe, United States, and Australia. The average salary for a mining machine operator in Europe is right around $54,000 US. A country like Germany will get close to $60,000 per year, while France, for example, is more around the $40,000 mark. In the United States, a senior operator will pocket $92,000 annually, while the average salary is just above $80,000. The base salary for a mining machine operator in the US is just about $73,000 per year. In Australia, it's not rare for a senior operator to make just above the $200,000 mark. The average is right around $150,000, $50,000 more than an entry-level position. That's when you realize you're in the wrong business, guys. So, this is the best version of the D11 ever, right? In 1996, Caterpillar introduced the D11R as well as the D11R carry dozer at Mine Expo in Las Vegas. Often labeled as the best D11 version ever, the R remained in CAT's catalog for over a decade. Replacing the D11N, the D11R saw its engine output increased from 770 to 850 horsepower in late 1997. Other major improvements made to the D11R were fingertip controls and electronic clutch and brakes. With an operating weight of 110 tons, the D11R carry dozer version had a special blade with a curvature that allowed 57 cubic yards to be pushed, the same blade design as Komatsu's D575 Super Dozer version. By year 2000, CAT had already sold 3,000 units of the dozer, but in 2008, the D11R was officially discontinued and the new D11T was introduced to market, this time powered by the CAT C32 engine with ACERT technology. Did you ever wonder how long those giant machines can last for? Here's the answer. A major milestone at any surface operation occurs when a new excavator is commissioned and gets added to the fleet. Then maintenance concerns begin, and this is exactly what will determine the longevity of the giant machine. Let's go through some data. Typically, a 600-ton excavator like this one is designed with a life expectancy of about 10 years, roughly 80,000 working hours. But some units have been reported to go way beyond that, as we're about to see. At 15,000 hours, the mining excavator will go through its first minor overhaul involving the first engine swap out. At 30,000 working hours, the machine will get an overhaul of the swing ring as well as other major structural parts. Anywhere between 60 and 80,000 hours, contractors will take the decision to get rid of the excavator or go through another major overhaul, sometimes trying to double the machine's longevity. Some Liebherr 996s are still currently running with more than 150,000 working hours on the clock. Well, I guess these were the good old times, don't you think? Today is the 16th of December 2023, and exactly 25 years ago, Liebherr only had 4 mining excavators in the lineup, including the 984B, which was upgraded to the 984C a few years later. Often forgotten, the R992 was also part of Liebherr's catalog 25 years ago. The machine had an operating weight of 130 tons and could be equipped with a bucket of 10 cubic meters of maximum capacity. Released in the mid-80s, the 994 was for the longest time Liebherr's largest mining excavator. It was upgraded to the 994B version in the early 2000s, before being replaced by the 9250. On December 16, 1998, the 996 had been in Liebherr's lineup for about 2 years, and the giant excavator was back then the manufacturer's ultimate flagship. There will always be something about those yellow beauties. If you think that's just some shitty old iron, you're wrong. In 1968, Caterpillar released a brand new heavy-duty wheel loader, the 992. In 1973, the manufacturer upgraded the machine and the 992B was born, one of the most unique-looking loaders ever produced. With an operating weight of 66 metric tons, the 992B could be equipped with a 10 cubic yard bucket, and the loader ran thanks to Caterpillar's D348 diesel engine that developed a maximum of 550 horsepower. The amazing Caterpillar 992B featured a uniquely designed rollover protective system frame to protect the cab, as well as improved speeds of 25 miles per hour and up to 27 miles per hour in reverse for quicker cycle times. In 1977, Caterpillar announced the end of the 992B series and introduced the highly improved 992C version to market. Despite only 4 years spent in CAT's catalog, the 992B remains to this day an absolute classic. Guess what? This machine cost $70 million. In 1988, Page Engineering Company specializing in draglines and dragline buckets was purchased by P&H to provide the brand an opportunity to offer a range of walking draglines to supplement its popular mining shovels. And so it began. In 1996, the very first P&H 9020 went to work at the Bulga coal operation in New South Wales in Australia. The machine was built at a cost close to $70 million, and it operated for almost 25 years. With an operating weight of 6,200 tons, the 9020 can be equipped with a 425-foot boom and a 160 cubic yard bucket. It takes 6 megawatts to keep this beast running almost 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. Designed to compete with draglines such as the Bucyrus-2570W, the P&H 9020 gained a strong reputation in Australia and North America over the past 3 decades. This is the definition of an engineering marvel. Hey, you love big mines? Welcome to Mount Keith. Mount Keith is a giant mining operation located in Western Australia. The extra-large complex includes several mines, making it one of the largest nickel operations in the world, with a production entirely shipped to overseas customers. Originally opened in 1995 by Western Mining Corporation, Mount Keith is now fully operated by BHP as part of its Nickel West operations, a fully integrated mine-to-market business operating in various locations across Western Australia. The gigantic Mount Keith mine produces low-grade disseminated sulfide ore through conventional truck and shovel mining method, which involves drilling and blasting as well as categorization of blasted material into ore and waste rock. On average, Nickel West operations produces between 77 and 89,000 tons of nickel annually. Still expanding through newly added cuts, Mount Keith is set to be in operation until 2045. Did you ever wonder about the cost of those insane tires? Here's the answer. The Caterpillar 797 is one of the biggest trucks in the world. Released in 1998, this mining beast has a retail price of just about $5 million, and it's equipped with the most impressive tires ever produced. Let's go through more details. Each one of these tires has a diameter of 4 meters, aka 13 feet. One tire alone has a weight of 11,860 pounds, the equivalent of 5.3 metric tons. The truck sits on 6 tires. Now that you know all of this, how much do you think one of these impressive tires actually costs? Answer: $42,500 US. Multiply this by 6. That's $255,000 in rubber for one truck only. Produced under the reference 5980R63XDR, these tires are made by well-known companies Michelin and Bridgestone. But guess what? As insane as it sounds, this is not even the most expensive tire in the world. If you like weird and wonderful trucks, watch this. The Mega Company is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They specialize in heavy equipment trailers, including dirt and rock trailers, as well as coal haulers designed to be fitted on modified dump trucks, such as the Caterpillar 789. Popular in the 90s, the Mega Tandem coal haulers could carry up to 240 tons of material, with a length of just about 125 feet. The concept worked well in the US, with Freedom Mine or North American Coal as Mega's top clients. Designed to be fitted on a Caterpillar 789, the CH260 coal hauler was first delivered to Peabody Coal Company's Black Mesa Mine in Kayenta in Arizona back in 1993. The complete unit was 91 feet long. The mega haulers were part of the successful mining industry from the 90s, right up there with other beauties such as the Wabco coal packs, the Goodberry, or the famous Crest coal haulers. Stunning stuff. Welcome to Mount Thorley Warkworth Mine. Mount Thorley Warkworth is an integrated operation of 2 open-cut mines sitting side by side on a complex located in the Upper Hunter Valley of New South Wales in Australia. Both mines have been in operation for more than 40 years. Mainly owned by Yancoal, Mount Thorley Warkworth produces medium and high-ash thermal coal and semi-soft coking coal for export. It is estimated that the complex holds up to 315 million tons in reserves. On average, both mines combined produce 17 megatons of run-of-mine coal per year and about 12 megatons of saleable coal. An upcoming underground operation is expected to raise those numbers by 6 megatons annually. Mount Thorley's production is entirely shipped by rail for export. Running 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, the mining complex employs 1,300 workers and uses the good old dragline truck and shovel extraction method. Did you know this used to be the biggest truck in the world? The Terex 3319 Titan was a giant mining truck designed around a locomotive engine. It came out in 1974 as a prototype, and it was, back then, the biggest truck in the world, and this record held for 25 years. With an empty weight of 235 metric tons, the Titan had a payload capacity of 320 metric tons, and the length of the hauler was 66 feet. The Sublime truck started operations in 1978 in British Columbia. Despite amazing feedbacks and pending sales, the Titan never entered production. The prototype unit of the 3319 kept moving dirt until 1990, after which a badly cracked rear axle housing would completely end its working life. Today, the Titan 3319 is on permanent display in the town of Sparwood, British Columbia, after the truck was donated by Teck Corporation in 1994. An incredible piece of engineering that, hopefully, we'll never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mount Arthur Coal Mine. The Mount Arthur coal mine is located in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales in Australia. Owned by BHP, this massive open cut, which started in 2002, is the largest operation in New South Wales. Mount Arthur extracts thermal coal for export, with a production ranging between 18 and 23 megatons per year, with total resources estimated at 213 megatons. The coal is moved by rail to the Port of Newcastle. With a size of just about 7,000 acres, Mount Arthur sits on 21 unique coal seams. The mine uses a large fleet of equipment, which includes the Liebherr 9800, the 996, all paired with T284 dump trucks. Last year, BHP announced it was bringing forward the closure of the mine, originally set in 2045 to 2030. Mount Arthur Coal employs 2,000 workers on site and generates jobs for tens of thousands of people in the Hunter Valley.